Pudgeon, what's up, buddy? Pudgeon is wild. Okay, we're locked and loaded. How's everyone doing, guys? Pudgeon's talking about he sees that Jake Paul hashtag. Man, you guys are pressuring me into having to cover that fight. I have one of my memberships, guys. So pinned in the comment section, join our Johnny Says Boxing VIP group. With that membership, you get access to the Discord. So we have three different you get access to the Discord. The second level, it's a little bit more expensive. Every month, if you're a level 2, you get to ask me for a personalized fight of any. And I've already gotten a couple messages that I might have to break down Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul based off of fulfilling my promise of the level 2 membership. So anyway, yes, that hashtag is aligned here. Guys, I just released my breakdown prediction and analysis of a fun fight at 147. It's on that Monaco card between Pat McCormack and Kona Walker. That's up on the channel as well. I have what you see on the screen is the Discord. I just want to let everybody know I'm a boxing guy. This is a boxing channel. In the Discord, it's not just boxing. We have MMA, all pro sports, from basketball to football to hockey to soccer. I know the F1 is coming to an end, but next season I'm going to put racing in there because I watch F1. It's crazy to watch Max. 4 weeks ago, Max was a 29-1 dog to win the whole thing. Going into the final race, he's a 3-1 dog. If you pay attention to racing, you'll know what's happening. Sort of the fuckery that's going on with the Aussie racing team. So there's a lot going on. The reason why I say this is because I played football and basketball my entire life. I'm on a heater. I'm on such a hot streak. I guess you could call it like I do really well with the prop betting on football and basketball, but don't expect me to give you every bet that I bet on. So I'm just saying that. I guess I've been getting lucky. But yesterday I hit two of them. I hit a 10-legger in the football right here. Paid plus 650. And then I also hit early game. I hit a 5-legger here. And then 2 days ago, I hit a 15-legger in the NBA. I'm just a prop guy. I use the statistics to put my props in. Don't get frustrated if I don't give you every single pick. I just do the NBA and American football for fun. If you want to ask me how I do it, you can do that. I'll explain to you. I just do statistics based. But this is a boxing breakdown show. It's a boxing breakdown live stream. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the first fight that I broke down. We have a lot of boxing to talk about, guys. So go on my channel. This is up right now. This is my Statstone live video of McCormack versus Walker. Fun fight, man. Fun stylistic matchup between two 30-year-old Brits, two very different paths. This is going to be another fight, though, where the odds are pretty wild, and it's going to be one of those fights where you have a professional with, 20 or more pro fights, Conor Walker, taking on, the guy with the storied amateur pedigree. This will only be McCormack's 9th pro fight, and he's a massive favorite here. And we know over the last year we've seen what's happened with these sort of matchups. My money is on McCormack. I think Conor Walker's style's tailor-made for McCormack's sharp boxing. And I think Pat McCormack is really good. And so watch that. Watch my breakdown. I'm going to pull up the odds. We got Shock versus Fulton. There's so many fights to talk about. I'll leave it open to you. I'm going to go live again today. I'm uploading. Last week, I only did one Statstone live video because I told you guys I wasn't stoked about the week of boxing. I gave that is going crazy. So if those fights as of now that I want to get up, I want to do Jake Wiley versus Paul Fleming. I want to do Wiley versus Fleming. I want to do the Jai Apatai fight. That's already 3 fights. I've already done Connor Walker and McCormack. I want to do Frank Walker or Frank Martin. I'm gonna definitely do Foster and Fulton. Foster and Fulton is next. So hopefully today you'll get Shock versus Fulton. Obviously, I'm doing Alam Hunalay versus Lara, and then Pitbull versus Roach. So we just have a really, really good, a really, really busy week of boxing, which is great. A lot of good odds. Pat would beat Connor Bennett 47. I think Pat, dude, watch Pat McCormack's tape, guys. McCormack's tape is legit, dude. Good boxer. Both guys are 30 years old. It's going to be one of these classic matchups where you have one guy who's going to be running on his front foot trying to drown the dude. But the thing I don't like about Kona Walker, he gets hit a lot. His defense is suspicious, gets hit a lot. And I think a guy like Pat McCormack, who has the accuracy, the precision, the technique, is going to be able to make him pay. And we'll see. I think a stoppage could be in play. I know people are like, "What are you talking about? Kona Walker's never been stopped. He has 3 losses. They're all by decision. We'll see." Julius, Julius and I were talking behind the scenes. This is exactly what I'm feeling too. Kona Walker's face is a punching bag, and 147, man. You have to think that this is that British Commonwealth strap. The 147 champ, the IBF is. We just saw him. Patty Donovan lost to Lewis Crocker, so Crocker's the champion there. I would take Pat McCormack over Lewis Crocker. So, and we know that Patty Donovan has been linked with Liam Paro. So 147 IBF route. I think we could be looking at a potential champion with Pat McCormack. You guys are tapping in. I appreciate everybody. I see a little Showtime in the house. Keys is in the house. Sent from Pat. What's crack-a-lackin'? Little Showtime Ghost Mark by stoppage. Yeah, he's fighting Bartholomew Francis. Rancis Bartholomew. I always watch when Frank Martin. I mean, he never fights though. We'll see if he still looks decent. Talk about a kid I wish we got to see more. He just never fights. Jake Wiley with all the momentum. Fleming been inactive for too long. Yeah, you can't argue the inactivity part. All the momentum. I mean, he lost to George, and he's coming off, a win. Look, if Paul Fleming is a fraction of himself, he dog walks Jake Wiley. I don't even see this fight being close. Paul Fleming is an underdog because we haven't seen him in a while, but Paul Fleming is world class, dude. If Paul Fleming doesn't fade, he could possibly be, obviously fighting for world titles. He was up on all the cards against Charlie Suarez. That's just a testament to how tough Charlie Suarez is to get him out of there late. And we know that Suarez got the short end of the stick against Navarrete. Paul Fleming, mate, even an 80% Paul Fleming beats 100% Jake Wiley. That's just my opinion. Paul Fleming is legit, dude. World class. He just took an exhibition against Billy Dibb. Exhibition. They're just moving around, kind of sparring. I know a couple guys close to Paul Fleming. I reached out to him 2 months ago. Shout out to Joe Williams. Joe Williams, former played for. I think he played for the Roosters. He either played for the Roosters or the Bunnies. I think he played for the Bunnies, NRL, but he also had a pro boxing career. I'm friends with Joe. He does a lot of work in the mental health space. Very well respected Aboriginal athlete, and he knows Paul. And I was like, bro, is Paul is this what version are we going to get from Paul? And he was like, bro, Paul looks great. His sparring went really well. He switched on. You give me Paul Fleming plus odds, baby. The dogs are barking 100%. Are you doing? You boys are cracking today, boy. Sent from Pet. Are you doing predictions UFC, the Yarnards? Yeah, we're gonna not today though. This is Tuesday morning. I'm gonna get to the UFC predictions later on in the week. How did you watch Lamar versus Jamel Herring? Did you watch Roach versus Jamel Herring fight live? No, I didn't watch it, but I know how it ended. Does Lara being 42 and almost 15 months inactive? 100%. Yeah, I definitely don't like Lara against Alam Hunalay. Alam Hunalay is big, young. He could crack. I think Lara's run is going to come to an end here. Good boxer, though. Lara's had like these 2 different careers. Really good boxer. But Alam Hunalay is like for all of the hesitation I have about Murtazaev, I don't really have. I initially was hesitant. I watched tape for about 3 hours the last 2 days on Alam Hunalay. I dude, he fought Andre Mikhailik down here in Australia. Somebody should go to prison for that fight. But Janibek is big, physical, could crack, skilled. I think he's gonna. I think Lara's in over his head. I don't see Lara beating him. What's up, Aussie pugilist? Little Showtime. You think Martin punches as hard as GAR? Ooh, little side quest conversation. I'm here for it though. All right, the boys like Lara. It's gonna be a fun fight. It's gonna be a fun fight. Guys, like this video. Come to the Discord. Come to the bright side of things. And then let me know where you're tapping in from. Floyd, I think Shock versus Fulton will be a tough fight to bet on. I pick the distance, guys. Look, when in doubt, if you're here long enough, you'll understand that it's like if you're torn between picking a winner, then your next sort of thought process should be, all right, method of victory. That's if you're torn on a money line. Method of victory, in my opinion, sometimes is more difficult. But in this case, Shock versus Fulton, I think the money pick, I'm obviously going to give you a winner. I'm taking Foster in this fight. Uh, surprise. I'm taking Shock. I was taking Fulton, but I don't like the brand. He looked good against Figueroa. I think Figueroa gives me bad. You guys know how I feel about the Figueroas. There's bad juju on that fight, in my opinion. The thing about Shock, will he throw enough punches? He's the better boxer. Bigger dude. I mean, Fulton has looked bigger in these meetings, in these face-offs, but the hesitation on Shock is always going to be, will he throw enough punches? He likes to make his work look perfect. He's a bit of a perfectionist in there. The bet on that fight is, will the fight go the distance? Yes. Happy Monday for my USA peeps. Happy Tuesday. Appreciate you, Dwayne Styles. Dwayne, my guy. I got to get that Bucky shirt on. By the way, the Bucky's tag is. Oh, I know that. It's a cool sticker. I'm gonna probably. I'll throw it on the laptop. So I'll throw it on that boy. I got to get a new laptop. I get connected to these things, guys, and sometimes it's hard for me to get rid of it. This laptop has been with me through everything. Has been sparring and active in the gym. Hit the like. Lara getting beat up. Yeah. Look. We really don't have a lot of we really don't have a lot of footage to say that Lara's gonna get beat up. But mate, I'm 42 versus a prime hungry Alam Hanale, mate. That's a tough one. Johnny, I'm gonna tell your Monday night. Let's cook. Did I post it? See, Dwayne, I think I just get lucky with hitting all these props. And that's why I feel bad giving you guys my prop bets, because I don't think they're ever gonna win, and they always win. And so, like, the one I shared, though, it'll lose. So if you tail it, tail it. But I mean, I don't know. It's crazy that I'm on a generational run with my props, boys. Look at the NBA, the NFL. It's crazy. But I just play statistics. I'm a stats guy. This fucking guy over here. Okay, Mikhailovich was talking mad shit. I thought I'm pretty. Isn't Ahmad Reda with Skinny Hussein? I heard you asking who's training Ahmad Reda. I know he opened his own gym a month ago. I'm pretty sure he trains with Billy and Skinny. He's class, dude. He got game. We saw that in his last. I was at that last fight. I was impressed, mate. Yeah, he did open his own gym. Well, he's yeah, I was at the Bruno Tarimo fight. Team Rada, Arncliffe. That's Skinny, right? These are all the young bucks. Tiger Rita. Here it is. Wow, he had a. I'm sure you guys will get me the answers to that. He wants that Gar. I'm pretty sure he wants that Garside fight. A lot of people want that Garside fight though. Cupid's like Lara, Johnny, I'm gonna tell you Monday night. Let's cook. I have a lock, Floyd. I have a lock, Foster, Cruz, fight to go the distance. I think that's the so Foster, lock, Cruz, fight to go the distance, job by knockout, Janabet. I love it. Floyd, post that in the Discord, Floyd. Yeah, Kiza, but it was hard to watch, mate. You saw like Mikhailovich was talking mad shit as well, just got too embarrassed like that. But you saw that he should have never been in there. You know what I mean? He should have. This is how people get injured and hurt. One of my old buddies in my old gym I used to coach with fought last weekend. Dude's not a fighter. He's like a pretty boy type cat. Comes from money in Sydney. Never been in a fight before in his life. But there, I told you guys about this white collar boxing. The same thing that Fabio Wardley got his start in the UK. It's a British thing. We know this is a Commonwealth in Australia, so a lot of the stuff that starts in the UK will come here. And so one of my buddies I used to work with, like I said, dude's not a fighter, comes from money, never been hungry before, but you know, boxing is romantic. Boxing, some people always want to have a fight. So they did these white collar fights last weekend, and the dude that he was training out of a gym in Melbourne, as the Aussies say, one of the dudes died. You know what I'm saying? People die in boxing at all levels. It's not a fucking game. So when I was watching the disparity between skill levels, and we knew it going in, Andre Mikhailovich fucking fighting Alam Hanalei, it's like, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly though, Alam Hanalei, he had some weight issues. I think that was the fight that was rescheduled because he was supposed to fight someone prior, had weight issues, and then Mikhailovich put his hand up and late. I think if this I remember right, short notice sort of thing, didn't have a full camp and just totally got embarrassed. You're watching Alam Hanalei play with Mikhailovich in that fight, and you're like, this kid could die in here. It was insane. Got to put some on individual round knockout for the Jai's Eaton. Showtime, not as hard to say, but moving up should be more comfortable and ready to make a statement with time off. Carlos Castro almost stopped Fulton. Carlos Castro almost stopped Fulton. Shock is more accurate, more powerful. Yeah, I like counter boxers. I like skilled technicians. I like Shock Foster. I know there was a good, was it the Conceição? Was it the Conceição fight? I feel like he got robbed and then he got a gift. I think something like that happened. I'd pull up a shared screen, but my third device is acting suspect. We were live streaming one of the Shock Foster fights. I watched so many fights, so I'm gonna pull up the screen for you boys. I want to make sure it's the one I was talking about. Yeah. This Conceição loss was absolutely insane. I remember watching this fight. It's like I could not believe they gave this fight to Conceição. It was like, and then for Foster to overcome that, because that when it happened in real time, it looked like it mentally broke him. This is a guy who's a lifelong boxer. I mean, a lot of these guys at the world level, you're not getting to that level without putting everything in your spirit into it. So it was good to see him get his get back against Conceição, but that loss, dude, it shouldn't be on his resume. That was horrible. Dude, the chat is, and this is Cool Boy. And okay. And I'm not trying to call y'all out. I'm calling myself out. People have short-term memories. Put your hand up in here if you pick Brandon Figueroa to beat Fulton. I thought Fulton was done, dude. I did the breakdown. He didn't look that dude. He gets stopped against Inoue, the Castro fight, and then I got the curse of the Figueroas. Fucking Omar Figueroa and Brandon Figueroa. And then all of a sudden, Fulton looked like he was back. I was like, what the hell? So I don't know. You know, I think the safe bet is this fight to go the distance. Foster sucks. Pudge, you wild. You wild, Pudge. I'm sure your tape looks good, though. I'm sure your tape looks good. You can catch and counter, Pudge. Pudge, you out here be catching and countering? Pudge? Hobson fighting on Pro Box. Is Shakur by decision 100% lock? Floyd, there are no locks in this game, baby boy. Stop using, don't be coming on my channel using that word lock. There ain't no locks out this biatch. I feel like Hobson fought better in the second fight. Word. Stop. Just checking in. Sorry if you've about covered this, but are you doing this? Yeah. Yeah, I am doing a stats don't lie on Fleming. But I mean, that 37 years old. Lara is 42. Lara, you know, we've seen these guys. How old's Jazza Dickens? How old's Bud Crawford? Let's go, champ. $175 decision, Fulton versus Figgy. Me too. Me too. Hold on. So you thinking Foster gets outboxed? You guys think Shock is going to get outboxed by Fulton? Wow. Because when I see somebody say Foster gets schooled, that means he's getting outboxed. That's kind of crazy to me. Shankar is a middle-aged man. I got to pick that under. Julius, what's your play on this fight? Let's look at the odds, boys. Wow, the odds are moving. Okay, so if you guys are, I'm hearing more boys are convinced that Fulton beats him. I like the distance in this fight or the over. Yeah, not a lot. I mean, the juice, I don't see either guy getting stopped. Dude, saying Foster isn't that good is insane. Have you ever boxed before? Dude, he does so many little things really, really well, bro. So I can't let that. Are you trying to say he's not that exciting? Because the word excitement and the word good, they're not correlated. They're not, especially in something that is so technical as boxing. Shocky Foster does a lot of things that you probably aren't picking up really, really well. It's going to be a banger. I got Foster in a dogfight. I feel Fulton is taking more damage in the sport, and Foster is faster. Will make. Yeah, man. I don't see how people are saying that Foster's not good. What are we talking about? The dude is super skilled, man. Look, I can see if you don't like that style. Say that. Say you don't like the style, and I totally agree. But to say he's not good, now we're kind of being detrimental towards our sport. Because that dude does catching and counter and slipping, head feints, his speed, his understanding of distance and range, how to enter and exit the pocket, punch selection, punch placement. I mean, I don't know, man. To say he's not good is pretty insane. Janibek stops Laura. I could see that. I'm leaning on that. I think at 42, this is the time. I think this is the final countdown. Da 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 da. The final countdown. Live bet Foster. They're both good fighters to come to this level. Okoli. We're talking about Okoli? Do I put Jackson Dart? He missed some game, didn't he? He's coming back off after a slight concussion, right? He should ball out. Do I put Jackson Dart passing touchdowns over and under? What did I play on that? I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I did Jackson Darts over 150. Drake May. I did Jackson Dart one touchdown. I think Drake May is the play if we're talking about what quarterback should ball out. I think Drake May is probably going to ball out. And then if you're looking for, I'm always playing that Ohio State Buckeye touchdown score, Travion Henderson. So if you're trying to just play a touch, I would go, yeah, Jackson Dart passing touchdowns over under one. I would go over one. I would take Travion Henderson to score a touchdown. I also like Drake May to pass for over 200 yards. Is Lara wins? If Lara wins, I know, what is it? He has nothing to prove unless he wants that Bud Crawford fight or that Canelo rematch. Maybe that's the move. This could be the play, boys. Lara, because he doesn't have to have a belt to fight Canelo. I say Lara probably gets stopped. I'd like to see Lara and Canelo. I would watch that. Would you? Lara might be 113 years old, by the way. Lara got that good Cuban passport too, boy. What you know about that good Cuban boy? That one that like it kind of smudges a bit. No one really, neither government approves of it. The Google Jose Mesa. He wasn't Cuban. He wasn't Cuban. Jose Mesa was a pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, my team in the 90s. Just Google Jose Mesa birth certificate. You're welcome, Dwayne. Roach decision for sure. Fight go the distance for Fulton Foster. Okay, guys, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this, guys. I need your help. I need your help. How does Lamont Roach fight against front foot pressure volume fighters? Which take, because, I asked this in the Discord. Everybody said watch the Renee fight because recency bias tells us we all know Lamont Roach more recently for what he did against Tank. He fought Tank to a draw. Tank's style is not Pitbull Cruz's style. And then how does Pitbull fight a guy? How does Pitbull handle a guy like Roach? These are contrasted styles. I could see, I'm not the biggest believer in Pitbull Cruz. I'm not hating on him. He's fun to watch. Every time Pitbull fights, I watch him. But is the word predictability, is the word predictable such a bad word for a fighter? Some fighters are predictable. Some of my favorite fighters of all time were predictable but couldn't get beat, but you couldn't beat them. You know who I'm going to talk about. How right there. The only people to ever beat him in the background, he had one of the most predictable styles. So just because his style is predictable doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. I just haven't watched Pitbull Cruz before and was like, dude, this dude's amazing. I watched Pitbull Cruz. I'm like, he's a fun fighter. I don't know. I like Lamont. I think I keep getting torn. I have to choose soon because the video is getting uploaded. Pudge. What about my prime, Mick? I ain't have no fucking prime. He's like, how about you, boy? You retired? Not me. I'm in my prime. Yeah, you look it. Laura's a Cuban B-hop. He got what it takes to beat Janabek. Whew. I'm not betting on him. I'm not betting on him. Alum Hunale! Johnny Beck! Alum Hunale! That's who I'm going for. So he has more power than before. I don't know. I got confidence in Roach's father. He doesn't throw one. It doesn't. He throws those hooks. He wants to put his head on your chest and throw those hooks over the top of you and up and under. And it's just like he has one button. Go. I didn't want to say this, GK, but I could see this. I didn't want to say this, but I could see this. And I don't like putting words in the chat's mouth, but you guys are beasts. I think Pitbull will get stomped by Roach. He's way too overconfident, and that leads to his boldness in the ring. He's proud. He doesn't respect his matchup like this for Cruz. He's proud. He's proud. He's fun. I'm a fan. Guys, just because we pick against a fighter doesn't mean we're haters, by the way. I actually, every time Pitbull fights, I watch him. It's just I've never left a Pitbull fight being like, damn, this dude is that dude. This is gonna sound crazy. Sometimes I question the style he fights at. It's gotten him where he is. I mean, yeah, you got to respect that bravery, though. A knockdown prop is in play, Lil Showtime says. Now this is a good point. Got to question Roach's gas tank with the added weight. It's not a big jump, boys. Not a massive jump. And these guys have been cutting weight their whole life. This is a lifelong boxer. You figure he's sparring all these rounds at heavier weights. So it's not like the weigh-in weight they don't have experience fighting at. You got to take something with sparring. Pitbull is a smaller guy in a bigger weight class. Roach was a bigger guy. Spot on. We got some great fights coming up, boys. You're not even... Dude, have you guys watched tape on Conor Walker and Pat McCormack? Similar sort of thing. And there are questions. So what's the bet? What's the bet then? Wow. See, I'm torn, man. Let's see the odds. I'm torn on Pitbull and Roach. Guys, this is one of those fights. The more we ask our friends, the more we flip-flop. Like last week at this time, I was convinced Roach was going to win. And then I started talking to Chilltown, Tommy Randone on the down low, Julius, and now I'm like, shit. This is one of those fights where like Pat McCormack versus Conor Walker, I'm not torn. You won't be able to switch me that fight. You remember how torn out, you remember how convinced I was with Tiger and Flies? Nobody was making me flip-flop that fight. This fight, I can flip-flop. Pitbull Roach, you asked me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I might give you, 5 different answers. Wow. See, that's another thing. Look at the odds, dude. That's another thing, man. That might be an odds play. Do you guys ever do odds play? You just take one, it's an odds move. It's an odds move. Pitbull 2-1 against Lamont. God damn. Look at the decision, too. I don't see Pitbull stopping Lamont. I could technically see him getting a decision, though. Somebody's going to eat this weekend on this fight. There's a handful of these fights. The chat is who you got, Kiza. Well, Teo versus Shakur. Guys, Shakur Stevenson's my favorite fighter. Teo ain't got nothing for Stevenson, mate. I don't think I put Shakur on top of my pound for. I've been saying this for years, though. People have been talking shit about me. Shakur should always be in the top of everyone, at least in the top 5 of everyone's pound for pound list. Shakur Stevenson's that dude. Stop it. I don't want to hear anything about it. From a boxing skill set, dude. Shakur, top 5. Shakur's one of my favorite fighters. Teo don't got that mindset to beat Shakur. Shakur will break that dude. I think Shakur breaks Teo, to be as quiet as it's kept. And I'm a Teo guy. I did take ABJ to beat him, but I picked Teo to beat Josh, he looked great against Josh. He's had, did you watch the Sandor Martin fight? I mean, he didn't fight him that well. Even the kid from Canada, they had that fight down in Florida. Dude, the kid from Canada fought him really well. So you can't be going into a fight against Shakur Stevenson with questions. You can't be hesitating against Shakur. You are going to get pieced apart. It's going to be a long night. I think Shakur is going to shine against a guy like Teo. This is the question. Let's say Pitbull wins. How decision on points? So if you're a Pitbull guy, I don't see him stopping Lamont. Dude, Lamont is so good. This is a tough one, guys. No way. Christian Hernandez. No way Pitbull wins. Why? We need evidence. Guys, come on the channel. Come on the live stream. When I hear absolutes, I need to hear evidence or reasons. At least, why doesn't Pitbull win? Tell me. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe. Who's the hardest hitter Cruz fought? Probably Tank. I mean, the motherfucker could crack. We just all of a sudden forget about Tank's power? Probably. Look at Lamont Roach's wins. None of them wins come versus high-level Mexican brawlers. This is what you got to ask yourself. These are true questions. Me too. Same. Remember the fight is in San Antone. Riverwalk. Holla at your boy. The Riverwalk in the house. Canelo said it on Joe Rogan podcast in the last 24. Canelo went on Rogan? Damn, I haven't watched Rogan in years. That's crazy. What did he say? What did I miss? Canelo said what? Who's the better center? No, Canelo said he was offered a heap to throw the fight. He said it was LKKJ. I don't know, man. I must have missed some. Guys, wherever you're tapping in, let's like this video. Let's comment. Let me know what time it really is. Watch my upload. I want to know your thoughts on McCormack versus Walker. We got a bunch of stuff coming this week. We're talking about Roach versus Lamont. We got Shock versus Fulton. We got Alam Hunalay versus Lara. God damn, there's a lot of fights. We got the Aussie card, Jai's fighting. We got Paul Fleming versus Jake Wiley. Yep, they don't know about that Drew Hill. They don't know about Drew Hill, boy. Cisco, Woody, Big Woody Rock. You think Jake Paul will knock out? What? Did you just ask me, do you think Jake Paul will knock out this guy? Shouldn't you? I'm so confused. Are you referring to this guy's Anthony Joshua, one of the era's most dominant heavyweights, and you're giving Jake Paul a first-name basis? Jake Paul's not a boxer, mate. Under one. AJ destroys the Disney child. Dude is talking about a fake thumbnail. Canelo. Yeah, I was like, what is he talking about, dude? I didn't know that. Then again, I haven't watched Rogan in years, so maybe he was. Peter McGrill, money line. That's a good fight. That's the main event in Monaco. Enthusiast. Yo, Johnny, I'm going to Pitbull. Oh, nice. You're going. You Texas. You live in Texas. I'm putting money on Lamont knockout. Wow, man. People were saying Lamont by knockout. 525, 5-1. Andy Gonzalez, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's no way. Jake Paul's not a boxer, mate. Actually, Lamont beat Tank. Tank took a knee. If the referee counted as knockdown, Lamont. Yeah, true. That 10-8 boy, that braid joint. He had great. No, it was up. My braid got in my eye. Don't cry, dry your eyes. And here comes your mother with those two little guys. Her mean mother steps and says to me, hi. Deck Sally in the face and punched her in the eye. Punched her in the belly and stepped on her feet. Slammed the child on the hard concrete. The bitch was strong. The kids was gone. Something was wrong. I said, what was going on? I tried to break it up. I said, stop it. Just leave her. She said, if I can't have none, you can't either. So I go, so I grabbed my sack of rock setter. That's that that what album was that? That's that Lottie Dottie. I'm from the D. I just saw it's kind of good. It's so cold in the D. Cruz definitely not getting knocked out. I don't see him getting stopped either. Guys, we are torn. The boys are torn. Do you believe Mosley Jr. upset? Hell to the nah. Hell no. Hell to the nah. Hell no. Look, Mosley Jr.'s had a good run. I was at the fight when he was on the undercard of Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn up in Brisbane. So he lost that fight. And I threw him away after that. I was like, this is just kind of a nepo baby. But no, he's developed into a good pro. But guys, Jesus Ramos is that dude. Jesus Ramos probably stops Mosley Jr. Big puncher. This is Ramos's first fight at 60. So and he hasn't been that active, but Jesus Ramos could fight. I don't see him beating him. Then again, I don't see him having the arsenal to make Ramos respect him. Johnny, you know about Alchemist and Rock Marciano? No, I know about Rocky Marciano and The Alchemist, the book by God damn it. Paulo it was my favorite book as a teenager. Paulo. I think he was a Brazilian or a Portuguese writer. There's a great, if you guys haven't read The Alchemist, read The Alchemist. Great book. You guys need to step your game up. You need an introduction on philosophy, some existentialism per se. Read The Alchemist. Yeah, Mosley Jr. is a good fighter. He beat Rosado. Guys, do your film study. Jesus Ramos is a world champion. He will be like Jesus Ramos. That dude, it could fight. He's gonna stop him. Do you think Justice Huni is a good bet? No, he's a good bet. I like Justice Huni. I think Justice Huni. I'm a fan of Huni, man. When you look at Huni's skill set, his bag, he's a hell of a boxer. He had one bad moment against Fabio, but guys, we know in boxing, all it takes is one bad moment. That moment is going to haunt him his entire career. But I rate Justice Huni. I think Justice Huni would. I want to see Justice Huni versus Moses Itsuyama. Dude, you don't really understand how good Justice is until you see him live in person. You see how massive he is, and you see how light he is on his feet, and how quick he is with everything, and the angles he creates. There aren't many heavyweights in the world operating at that level like Justice Huni. If he doesn't make that one low fight IQ mistake against Fabio, we would be talking totally different about Justice Huni. But now, when we remember the fight, the Kevin Lorena fight, I remember taping Huni versus Fabio, and in my Stats Don't Lie video, I talked about what happened at the end of the Kevin Lorena fight. Very similar, almost eerily similar. He got caught and kind of wobbled, and Lorena didn't finish him. And I was like, unless that happens, he's going to cruise to an easy victory. He should win every round against Fabio. Literally was playing out to the T, exactly like I said, until Fabio caught him with the shot Lorena caught him with, and we know that outcome. So Justice Huni is that dude. He's a hell of a boxer. Deep bag. Definitely not a domestic guy. 26 years old, I think Huni will be a world champion. Guys, I am a fan of technique. So, when you don't see many heavyweights doing what Huni could do. Yeah, Jai Appetit by knockout on 100. I had Fraser and Vong. Why'd you bet Fraser? Why'd you, dude? Fucking Fraser Clark, guys. Fuck that, dude. That TKV fight you got. That was last week, bro. Turn the page, my guy. Turn the page. We don't look in the past. And Vong on points. Oh, you tried it. You did the method of victory joint. Yeah. Sorry, playa. Sorry, Playboy. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't high on any of the fights last week. I'm high on a lot of these fights. I told you guys last week, if you wanted to take the week off, you should have took the week off. There were so many C level, domestic level fights last week that were just like, I'm not even breaking these shits down. And the Cameron Vong fight, I mean, I thought he lost. I picked him to win. I thought he lost. I got lucky because the draw came in. He just didn't have enough power. He didn't have enough power to keep off his opponent, and I'm glad that Gwyn didn't get robbed. I'm glad he got a draw. That pressure, he just couldn't. He ran out of gas, wasn't strong enough. It makes me question his. When I see a guy like Cameron Vong who has skills, but then kind of melts under pressure, I question his strength and conditioning. I question, what is he doing for his strength training? It looks like he should hire my guy down in South Florida. He used to work. He was a strength. I had him on my show before. He needs a strength. He knows he needs a legit strength coach. That's what it is. Heard beat the brakes off of Lara. What the hell you talking about? You better be careful what you say to me, 'cause it might turn around on you. You better be careful what you do to me, 'cause you might turn around on you. Bentley was robbed. Bentley was robbed against Janabek and her. Bentley was robbed. These cats out here, boy. King of Fitness. His beats for oh, he's a musician. There's a dude named Earl Sweatshirt. What a name. Damn, you can tell I'm old. I don't listen to new music. I mean, I listen to all music, but what a great name. There's a cat out there named Earl Sweatshirt. Johnny Draws. If I was a rapper, you'd have to call me Johnny Dirty Draws. Johnny Stank Draws or something. Earl Sweatshirt. That's funny. Johnny Dirty Draws. My rap name. Johnny Stinky Draws. Earl Sweatshirt. Collabing. Fulton versus Foster is the only fight I'm uncertain about, but I'm rocking with Cool Boy. He trains with Boots daily. I know a lot of training partners. Look at it this way. That reasoning is very suspect because every world champion has training partners you've never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Every world champion has a training partner we've never heard of. Guys, I'm gonna lock it up. I'm gonna shut it down. I got a lot of work for you boys. This is my studio. I'm gonna do I guess I'm gonna do which one am I gonna upload next? You guys got me second guessing now. Which is your job. So I thank you guys for making me second guess because I need that from you. I might play a safe route and do an Aussie card, an Aussie fight next. I thought I was gonna upload Shock versus Cool Boy. Dude, we got Masood versus McGrill too, boy. Peter McGrill versus Masood. That's a good fight. Masood. The Ghost. Jesus Ramos versus Mosley. Man, Ramos is gonna stop poor Shane. That's on 100. No Shane on Shane. Shockers, Cool Boy. All right, I'm gonna do Alam Hunalay and Lara next. 1, 2, 3. I have a lot of work to do.